Railroaded back here to report the crimes that you guys have been covering up for years. I don't know how to report and stop you guys from terrorizing me, enlisting parties to abuse me, mistreat me, violate me psychologically, break into my phone, enforce interference with child custody crimes, and all kinds of terror that you guys have enlisted people to be a part of for years. I don't know how to interrupt that. I just want to be able to have a normal life and have a constitutional right, the ability to go to court, the ability to be able to get assistance. I'm telling you, I want to be able to report crimes. You're Willis?
Huh?
What's your badge number again?
9018.
And what was your name again?
Phelps.
Phelps, yes, I remember you. So I would like for the police department to stop committing crimes and terrorizing me and abusing power.
I mean, get everybody else out the way, because I'm literally the only officer.
Well, I mean, we went through this years. How can I get the police officers from sabotaging any avenue of assistance, interrupting domestic violence rallies, and any help, period, in domestic violence, at Health and Human Services, all help, period.
What's your name?
It's Keyana.
All right, just have a seat.
Keyana Clark Peace on YouTube, Keyana. You can see the government terrorize me with no consequences. So they scheme to have me wait. It's psychological abuse. They help other people and then play games when it comes to me. They've done it years. So I sit here a great amount of time and don't get assistance. So the most terrifying situation I've ever been in was jail, surrounded by police. They terrorized me and violated me in jail. There's the police right there. He immediately left. They like to intimidate. Why would I lie? There he is right there. Just standing there watching me. That's a harassment. Intimidation tactics just for me being here. He was standing here watching. Why is he leaving now? I just don't know how I can stop the police officers from committing crimes, terrorizing me, and violating me with no consequences year after year, committing conspiracy to violate civil rights crimes with no consequences, depriving me of all law enforcement, all domestic violence help, violating multiple constitutional rights with no consequences, tampering with evidence over and over and over again, hacking my phone network, crime after crime, felony after felony, and your body cam is not even on.
Hold on, I was about to turn it on.
Well, I've already given you a statement, and you don't have your body cam on, which is criminal. So I have to repeat myself.
I told you, it goes back. So what happens is there's a delay.
I can't find honest people with badges, guns, all over lie to me, as well as the organizations, Health and Human Services. Well, everyone else does so. Well, it's a multitude of others do. I don't know how to stop the police from terrorizing me, violating my constitutional rights, and enlisting others to do so.
It goes back. So everything you said a minute.
I want consequences. How do I get police officers from abusing their power, violating me?
Set up with the federal government. What's your, I know it's Clark, but how you...
So you guys are going to continue to violate me and prevent me from reporting my abuse as well as my daughter's abuse. Is it a crime for me to be deprived of my records because they give me all these fake criminal trespasses to violate my constitutional rights and then deprive me of records so they can tamper with evidence and so I don't have any information on the reports, the repetitive reports I make? So I thought it was criminal for the whole police department to deprive me of my constitutional right to my records and get away with it years. I thought that was a bit extreme to happen at police headquarters. So I don't know what to do if police headquarters records division will not give me my records. I'm still reporting other crimes. But here's the thing, I want to report that police are terrorizing me, depriving me of services, and then tampering with evidence in all the reports, and then depriving me of information on the reports that I'm making. Well, isn't that weird for you to finish up and then without me getting the case number?
No, it's not. I can get in whatever order I choose.
Oh, I just wanted to make sure you weren't tampering with evidence. Okay, because they need to get case numbers early and then don't have body cams on and then have pre-written report numbers, all kind of felonies and racketeering charges ignored for years. And that YouTube channel is Keyana Clark, Keyana Clark, Clark, Peace, Peace, on YouTube. Then you can see all the violations on that YouTube channel. I can't get law enforcement anywhere. So I break up all these case numbers and can't get law enforcement. And then police have terrorized me even trying to order food and purchase water. It's scheming with locations to deprive me of food and water, which put my life in jeopardy. And there's no consequences for these racked up felonies.
You can't be talking over the dispatcher if you're trying to get...
I mean, sir, I have been here years with you guys playing games. Okay, can I speak with the victim's advocate in person and not be forced to talk to one on my phone? I want to talk to her in person. I've been calling years and then I don't have rights to phone services. You won't investigate it. You enforce cameras on my phone, which is criminal. I don't have a right to phone services. I don't have the right. I'm not being heard. There's crimes committed on my phone. I speak with scammers, and you guys refuse to investigate it. I don't have the right to regular phone service, as I reported years. Sir.
Ma'am, I do not know who's here.
Okay, well, can you check? Because I don't have the right to. Are you guys behind my headphone?
What?
And force me to speak with scammers? And therefore, everywhere I go, they want me to call numbers? And then, like, I call CPS 20 times. I call CPS 20 times. I'm reporting child abuse, sir. I called CPS 20 times. They never investigated until I started recording.
Ma'am, take your thing with your case number on it first. And then that's
I'm not getting any resolutions because my life remains in jeopardy because police terrorize me and then entice people to violate my constitutional rights and deprive me of services.
Ma'am, you're going to have to give her a call.
So you gave me all these police department's numbers.
No, I gave you the case number at the bottom. I just gave you a bigger sheet of what the smaller sheet is.
Okay, I don't know how to combat police showing up giving me criminal trespasses at any life link.
Right there. There you go.
I'm asking to speak with the victim's advocate in person. You guys get away with hacking my phone.
Okay, well, just have a seat. I'm going to have to find her.
Okay, I've waited years.
Okay, have a seat.
Sir,
The smiley faces.
Person missing report.
Isn't it a crime since you're a police for you guys to commit the crime and deprive me of my records?
I don't provide.
Well, how do I report they will not give me my records? And I'm in a domestic violence crisis. I was told to come through here, and you're over there and not letting me go through the metal detectors?
I'm not letting you go through right now until I get ready for you.
Are you being rude?
No.
Okay, because I experience a lot of psychological abuse. I think it's pretty sick. And I think people need their charges if they want to contribute to narcissistic abuse and commit crimes.
Put stuff in that phone.
Why'd you stop, sir? Why'd you stop bullying me? He just told me to come through. Are you guys playing games?
You didn't tell you to come through.
So are you depriving me of services here at the police department?
What are you coming in for?
I was trying to get my records and other things and speak with the victim's advocate.
You coming in for a rep.
Yes, and he told me to come.
Sitting up there talking to him for the longest.
I don't know why you guys bully me, assault me, and violate me, and disregard me, and mistreat me repetitively over and over, and get away with criminal activity year after year with no consequences at a whole police department. In fact, all of them. So here's the thing, the scam. They don't want me getting my records. I don't know what to say. I have said that these people were out of control, mentally ill over and over, and repetitively ignored. I have never heard for police depriving someone of like 100 and something reports.
He said, can you come back up to the front? He said, get some information from you.
Okay, he don't want me getting the records. You guys don't want me getting those records, as they had them for years. So he don't want me to come through. That may incriminate someone. So that way I'm not let in like at all these other places. Just don't give me services. But that has to be against my constitutional rights. You don't have a right to scheme and deprive me of services everywhere I go. And get sick, even sicker, get away with it year after year. So it's deliberate games. He already got help, and now he's back in line. They have cameras. There's a camera right there.
Yeah, where? Yeah.
Could not get that. Why do you guys taunt me and violate me?
I forgot to ask you.
Well, you could have got that when I came around.
No, because I'm doing something else.
Okay, because can I explain? Is your recording still going? So when I go into the stores, let me tell you something. When I go into the stores, they have me going on wild goose chases, looking for items. They do the same thing. Okay, and you interrupt in reports. So when I go into stores, I'm reporting, doing a report. You're tampering with evidence that's a felony crime. I would like to tell you what's going on with me. So when I go into stores, they play games and have me walk all the way around the store and play games and taunt and violate and have me looking for products and pretend like they don't know where they're at. Just like you had me go to the metal detector and then had me come back here for my date of birth. So they have the same behavior pattern that you have, which I think is abusive.
It's not abusive.
If you could have got my date of birth on this side, instead of having me take all my items out the metal detector, he's smirking and it's funny for profit.
No, I'm just working.
Okay, so I had all my items in the metal detector. You wanted me to take them all the way out, come back over here to get my date of birth, and go back around and do the same chaos again. Okay. This would be abusive. Okay. And contributing to harassment and abuse is criminal. And you guys have racked up a lot of felonies, and it's time that you just got them. Okay. So he's on the phone, distracted. This is part of the disregarding. Then he was abusive when I came in earlier. Scam after scam after scam to violate, degrade with no consequences. He has not let me. He's helping her, and I can't get through. So I have to wait. He didn't open the door like he was supposed to. He wants me to wait. This is their schemes to disregard. I'm right here waiting. He won't open the door. It's red. It was deliberate. It's not an accident.
Step into the door.
I'm just... Oh, okay, I wanted to know what happened with the domestic violence advocate, because I all have deprived me of services.
She hadn't answered. I got to give her time.
Okay, because I've waited all day, and they were playing games. Hello. I wanted to know if records depriving me of my records is criminal. Isn't that criminal? to tamper with evidence and deprive someone of their constitutional right to their records and then hand them fraud? Yeah, because I mean, people are racking up felonies with no consequences. I've never heard of someone being deprived of their right to their records out of corruption. I can't give my records for years. And then hand it fraud at police headquarters. And then people have the audacity to call me mentally ill. If you give someone fraud for records, that's apparently mentally ill at police headquarters. What Phelps didn't want me to talk about, the same pattern, having me put all my stuff in the metal detectors, then take it out, and then scheme that they needed my date of birth when I just could have came around and gave him the date of birth. Like the stores going in Academy playing games out, and they were right there in front of the representative. I said that they had me going, if looking for certain food that I came for, sometimes they hid it, and then they had me going on the vacuum cleaner aisles, and then they'd even laugh in time, knowing full-blown well that they were having me walk all across the store and play games like this police department is doing. Like I've stated before COVID, I think it's pretty sadistic and sick for these people to continue to repetitively get away with this chaos with no consequences. Being controlled by a sadistic stalker that's not mentally stable, I do not believe is safe for anyone, and I think it's a threat to national security, as I did before COVID. So they have me standing up here waiting. Let me see if that's the same representative. I want to know if she's helping people in the other. Stalking is supposed to be a crime. He's trying to see where I'm going. Some kind of way they can look and do all this, but can't do an investigation for 100 and something reports. Is the police department having you guys commit crimes? There's crimes being committed here, and I can't. They will not give me my records. I've been ran off roads, child abuse, interference with child custody, assault with a deadly weapon, pickpocketing, robberies, attacks, assault. I'm sorry.
Have you already requested?
I've requested records for years.
Okay, so we're gonna pass you along to open records, and they can look them up and check the status on them. Okay.
Okay, it's years it takes. I want to report a crime. I think the police department is enlisting people to cover for their crimes and deprive me of records.
If you want to report a crime, that would be over.
Don't you have a responsibility to, if you see unethical behavior?
Officers.
Okay, so what's your name? I record my interaction.
Ma'am, you want to? There's
I just want to know your name, because if you have no responsibility to report misconduct,
an officer and make a report. That would be the information.
well, their police officers are committing the crimes, enlisting people for cover-up of their criminal activity. I don't know why people keep threatening the police to enforce crimes. I have a right to records. The same one. They won't give me my records for years. Pickpocketing, hit and runs, interference with child custody, child abuse, robberies, assault with a deadly weapon. So since they set it up, all they do is have these people scheme and enforce the criminal activity. That's it. They can't, the records would show their crimes. So they can't give me the records, which is still criminal. You can't decide because it incriminates you to deprive someone of records. It's a crime. And they've gotten away with it years with no consequences. A whole police department will not give me my records and have not for years. I witnessed all these people come in, out, get records, leave, in, out, leave. They will not give me my records, period. I mean, it's every abuser's dream come true. Health and Human Services, don't give her service. CPS, don't give her service. DOJ, don't give her service. Don't help her. Don't abide by the law. FBI, don't help her. Family members, don't help her if you want to live. All domestic violence organizations and advocacy and churches don't help her. It makes me feel uncomfortable. So no one help her so I can feel like a man. And they don't. Domestic violence rally, you don't help her either. So they go back and forth because they have to tell these people, we're committing crimes here. So that when you're a police officer, you can enforce your crimes. So now they have to concoct another scheme to validate the reason why they're refusing me records for all those vital experiences, situations. Depriving someone of records for hit and runs to a 15-year-old child interference with child custody, child abuse, robberies, attacks, assault with a deadly weapon. So you have to enforce criminal activity like that. Abuse your power to consistently keep getting away with it. Handing someone fraud, Attorney General stealing funds, and Social Security Administration, and Health and Human Services. You have to enforce criminal activity like that. So, ma'am, are you depriving me of any resolutions of why you guys have been committing crimes and depriving me of records years, getting away with it? It is criminal for you to do that, and we haven't gotten a resolution for these people to get the felony charges they racked up years with no consequences. As your position, you should know that is a crime to target someone and deprive them of vital records for the circumstances I just went over with you.
Ma'am.
Yes.
Now, you say you have a report, right?
I don't understand why the police would be denied law enforcement and the police would repetitively scheme.
Do you have a report?
I'm trying to get my records.
Do you have a case number?
I don't know what you're talking about. Are you trying to intercept me getting
No,
records
I'm
to
not
cover for
trying
your
to.
criminal
What
activity?
I'm asking you, are you gonna pay for the report?
I've already done this and got fraud. Yes, I've already asked for my records years.
No, they said you haven't paid for it. You got to pay for the report.
Why can't she tell me?
They can't tell you that.
So why can't I be treated like everybody else here?
You
Nobody
are.
else has had to do
They're
that, and then they
paying.
con and scheme with everybody else
They
for
are
years.
paying.
Okay, so they haven't given me a price. They called you.
No, they didn't call me.
Okay, well, why
I
did she
was told-
close?
I was told that you didn't pay.
Okay, what's the amount owed?
Mm-hmm.
What's the scam now? What's the con now today?
How much does she owe on this report that she need to pay? How much does she need to pay on this report? She says she has a report and thing. You have a case number?
I've asked for all my records. Oh, they're forcing me to only get 3 records still?
Excuse me.
I don't have options to get all my records. I can only get the 3 records you guys choose? I want to be like everybody else and get all my records and not be forced to get 3 records that you choose. I think that's insane. And a crime. Year after year, I see these people go in and out with their records. And you guys scheme and con and keep me from mine.
Okay, did she pay for the record? Has she paid?
I want all my records. I wanted to know if they're going to continue and enforce that I only get 3 records that you choose. I like to have civil rights like everyone else and get all my records. And not have the police department choose 3 records that I can get out of 70-something reports.
Do you have a request
Child
number?
abuse,
Ma'am,
assault with a deadly
ma'am,
weapon.
Do you have a request number?
No, I don't. I have my name. And a YouTube channel with a multitude of requests for
Can I
years
get your name
that were
on this
unaddressed.
sheet of
I don't know
paper?
why law enforcement has to keep on
Can I
assist me.
get
They're my
your
bullies.
name on this sheet of paper?
I don't know. I don't want you around
Here you go.
enforcing crime, sir. I just don't understand why police repetitively have to be around enforcing crimes. I want to be treated like everyone else. I didn't see anyone else have an officer assist them with an active crime going on, enforcing that the crimes continue to be committed. Can I be treated like a normal human being? I don't want you around me. Police are my bullies and enforce criminal activity. I don't have rights? Why can't I be treated like all these people here? What's your badge number and your name? I want your badge number. W. Harper. He don't want to talk. There's a badge number. 292. Enforcing criminal activity. I don't have rights. They, guard me at church, at domestic violence locations, scheme there, at restaurants, everywhere I go. Even with conversations, I don't have rights. They violate, terrorize year after year, no consequences. This is criminal. You just can't stand by me and enforce crimes. How many times do we have to see this before people rack up charges? So I like to know, because I've been handed fraud. I like to know if I can get all my records or if I would be forced that I only get 3 records that you choose. I'm talking to her, sir. You're not helping. Please leave me alone. You guys have terrorized and violated me long enough. Can you please leave me alone? You're committing a crime right now. So I want to get, I don't know why you're smirking at me like that and giving me those faces when the police headquarters gave me fraud. And I don't have records for child abuse, assault with a deadly weapon, interference with child custody crimes. They should have cameras. I don't know why you would give me those dirty looks. That's abusive. So this is why I can't get help. Because they come stand over people, even at church, and enforce their crimes on everyone else, which is criminal. You just can't go around people, abuse your badge, and help them commit crimes to cover up for your crimes. It's insane. But they're at church, at Health and Human Services, at domestic violence rallies, everywhere I go, enforcing these people commit crimes and enforce their abuse. At FBI, every turn I take, even down to the degree of setting up a gang stalker in front of my child's house to hit me with a car because the abuser didn't like me having access to my child. He bought off a lot of people to enforce I have nothing to do with my child. And that's what they're doing for profit. Yes.
$3.48.
Okay, can I know what the records are for? Because the police gave me fraud last time.
I don't know. $3.48.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So you don't want me to know what the records are for that I'm paying for. And I asked for records over everything.
Absolutely. Those are the ones that you requested.
I asked for all my records. Is that all my records?
That's what I have. I can give it to you if you pay me $3.48.
Okay, so let me make sure. What's your name?
I can give it to you.
You don't want me to have your name?
Maria,
Maria, in your position?
supervisor.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I'm understanding. I don't have rights like everyone else. So you're enforcing that I get records that you choose and you don't want me to know what I was not paying for?
No, I don't choose. You requested.
I requested all my records.
You have to dispute $3.48.
I've paid for fraud, ma'am. I've already paid for fraud.
For what?
I would like to know what the records are that you have for me.
You already paid for that?
I paid for fraud in the past. I'd like to know what records you're giving me. What requests do you show?
Can you give me your receipt when you pay for those? And I can tell you if those are the same.
You don't want me to know what you have in front of you, though?
Absolutely.
Okay, what records do you have? Is that all my records?
I don't know what is in there. It's 20 pages. I give it to you. You give me $3 and I give it to you. And we're done with this.
Okay, so I just want to make sure I understand. So you're telling me over and over again that I have no right to know what records you're giving me, and I have to pay $3.48 and hit the jackpot to see what records you're giving me because you won't tell me.
Let me see if I understand you right. So you don't understand that I'm telling you that you have to pay $3.48 to give you the records that you requested?
I requested all my records.
Okay, yeah, I think that's all your records.
Can you find out? Because I've already paid money for fraud. I'm not being heard.
Okay, now, it's $3.48.
Police department has called me before, ma'am. So I want to know what my records are before I pay for them. I want to be treated like everyone else. There's a police enforcing the crime. They don't want me to know because they're going to call me again.
Okay, you want your records, yes or no?
I just wanted to know what they were for, ma'am. Everyone else I've witnessed here was able to give information on their records.
Those are the
Okay, go ahead. I don't have rights. Let's see what crime you've concocted.
Ma'am.
So I cannot get all my records,
Ma'am.
period. He has to enforce I don't get my
She's asking
records.
you if you want to pay for the record.
Yeah, let's see what crime they have now. They get away with it year after year. Enforcing that I continue to get fraud. So you don't want me to know because I don't have rights like anyone else. I can't know what I'm paying for. Getting defrauded out of funds again. You gotta see it to believe it. No felonies. Year after year. Now you won't tell me what the records are I'm getting, and law enforcement standing over her, enforcing that they sabotage my records. And they already got away with handing me fraud. And that's probably what they're going to do today. This is clear-cut evidence I do not have rights. I have never seen anything like this. People look, condone, watch, and do nothing. And then they didn't have rights with COVID either. So it wasn't a game. Understand that the reason why they don't want me to get these records, I would go to businesses and they would violate and lie and slander and terrorize me at restaurants, all kinds of different locations. It's not a joke. So going into a store, have the store conspire so you can't shop there at regular places that you go to, that's why they won't give me the reports. So they set up for these people to violate me, mistreat me, degrade me, slander me, and get away with it. That's why they won't give me the records. So can you imagine how it feels to go place to place like Health and Human Services and have them violate you and have the police department set it up, disregard your life and your family's life, and get away with it year after year? And then force you to get records at police headquarters, the ones that they choose, commit crimes, and don't even want you to know what you're getting. On a whole YouTube channel. I've never seen anything like it. Openly violated. Any particular reason why you're not taking a report of the crime that's happening here? Why are all these people allowed to get their records and you guys are choosing the records that you're going to give me? That's criminal. Why are you standing over here supervising that a crime be committed in this police department? How I get defrauded out of funds, purchasing records like I already did, that's not what I requested. That's fraud. And then have me force me to gamble to see what corruption you have in this report. You've already committed a crime in the last report. I don't understand, sir, why you would supervise a crime, an active crime, as you've done years. Did you set it up? I just don't understand how people could sit. I mean, I guess when it's law enforcement, they get away with crime. I just don't understand how people can just sit, watch this chaos, and nothing's done. Sir, are you enlisting these places to deprive me of services and lock me on trains while I'm getting threatened? Is that why you guys can't furnish reports for that? All the people that threatened me on DART degraded me routinely over and over again. And when I was terrified for my life, strangers they blatantly lied on me. Then a criminal trespass concocted out of nowhere. And I was fighting for my life. Are you behind all this chaos? Did you set up for these people to degrade me, violate me like that, therefore deprive me of my reports and information because you set it up? That was assault with a deadly weapon that I can't get reports for. Is that why police wouldn't take the report for that? Did you know he was a gang stalker? Isn't that a crime? So now we have this one over here, the same thing. This lady's over here doing all the extra stuff, covering for child abuse and all these other things. Staged environments. Just like at the Health and Human Services, years of this. So trying to cover for what the police is doing, trying to help me distract and deflect. You gotta see it to believe it. So we still are distracting from the fact that police are enlisted people to terrorize me at every location with no consequences.
One, thank you, appreciate it.
No one is concerned about why police officers are guarding my records. I don't see them doing that for anyone else. And they've already handed me fraud. And that's probably what they're doing today. So they have the records supposedly, but they're sadistic. So they just like me to wait. You gotta be terrorized while the crime is being committed. So they had the records, but I'm sitting here waiting all this time for nothing. This is where I'm at. They do it everywhere. I know you gotta, they are not going to let me get services to escape their abuse. And so they get these charges. Year after year, they do the same thing. Just see where I'm going, premeditate my steps, and have them commit crimes to violate my rights and not deprive me of services. Years. I already know what they're doing. Then have them blatantly lie about the services. We just can't help for years. It can't be done. And it hasn't been. So the abuser's sadistic. So he likes me to pay for things because he's able to abuse the government. That's why I've had all these thefts that the government wasn't listed and got away with. And then deprive me of any ability to escape the crimes that they committed. I can't escape it. They continue to still defraud me out of funds, no consequences. So he's sadistic, so he wants me to pay for this fraud. So that knowing I don't have a job, then enforce a ticket I derived out of criminal activity, enforce that and a crime at Social Security Administration. And the crime with my employer is sabotaging me of funds that I work for. So since he's sadistic, he'll have me pay for these records, and then let's see what kind of crime they have with these records. Since they lied to me, can y'all tell me the procedure? Can you just come up here and get reports, or do you have to wait weeks and years for you? Can you get your report the same day? Okay, does anyone know, because the police department lies to me, does anyone else have the right to get their records the same day? No one wants me to know here? Okay, but there's a lot of other people. I don't know what my experiences are this odd everywhere I go. Why would they not want me to know if they can get their records the same day? All these parties in here, like on my bus ride. No one wants me to know. Are you guys able to get your records the same day? No one wants me to know. You don't want me to know if I can get my records the same day? Look at all these people ignoring me everywhere. They don't want me to know. This is why I can't escape it.
Thank you. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we'll get it worked out. Yeah. So I appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. All right.
Why am I exposing this? Because I don't know if they're real customers. They enlist gang stalkers to come in and distract like this man. That was the one that was interrupting me, covering for the crimes the police were committing. So I have to report that these controlled environments.
What are you talking about?
I'm not talking to you, sir. I'm reporting controlled environments of abuse.
Controlled environment.
Right. That's exactly right, sir. You can go ahead, sir. Were you able to get your records?
Huh?
Were you able to get your records?
I was able to get service, but I don't on my laptop. Yeah.
Okay, so you came in and got your records the same day?
No, I didn't get my records sent.
Oh, how long you been waiting?
What do you mean, how long?
How long you been waiting for your records?
I just got them. What are you talking about?
You said that you didn't get your records the same day? How long did it take you to get them?
What do you mean? I don't have them. What are you talking about? It's a process.
What's the process?
Go through the process.
Why would you not want me to know?
What?
Because I've seen witness people get their records the same day. I don't know why a multitude of people conspire and cover with crimes everywhere I go. Something's wrong with me, sir? But you covering for child abuse, hit and runs, assault with a deadly weapon, and something's wrong with me, sir? And you're enforcing the police department to commit crimes and lying about your records? But I have a problem. Thank you, I appreciate that because I've been handed fraud before. Thank you, and forced to pay for fraud.
You let me know what you need today
Okay.
and all that information. We're gonna be able to look for more.
Okay, thank you.
This is what we have that you requested before.
I requested all my records. I'm not being heard. Okay, thank you.
If you give me days.
Depending on if I need the records, I can get my money back for this because you're not telling me what the records is for. Okay, so this is the records I paid for. Right here. Right there. Right there. Blank sheet, associate's name. Blank sheet. Blank sheet. Blank sheet. Okay, Addison called Jeffrey's maid with Clark, who stated she was walking down the street and threatened her by saying that I want to fight you. Call 911 upon arrival, showed signs of mental illness. Okay, fraud. Okay, Coffee, David. This is where I was assaulted on camera footage. My tablet keeps going off. Portable electronic communication, estimated value. Police from 6 Malcolm X concerning robbery. Suspects are staying in homeless camp at listed location. Said that she was preparing a meal. The suspect pushed the comp to the ground and took her cell phone. The comp stated that sustained bruises to her right arm and left leg. Arrived suspect was no longer at location. Blatant lie. Did observe bruises to the comp's arm and leg. Suspect has a tent next to the comps. Checks the suspect's box, but suspect was not there. Okay. No investigator ever called me. It was on camera footage. Harry Hines, Memorial Hospital, approximately 10 near City Square, coughing and sick due to the spraying of the area with ammonia.
That's it?
I'm just looking.
Okay.
Spider in the tent. I'm not finished, ma'am, because I mean,
You can take those with you because those are yours.
okay, these are 911 calls that I didn't request. This is not what I requested. Where's the hit and run? Where's the interference with child custody crimes? I requested all my records.
Okay, well, just give me all the report numbers and then we look for that.
Okay, why it used to be you didn't have to have all the report numbers. Why can't I be treated like everyone else? I would just like to.
You don't want them?
No, because they're crimes.
Okay, just give that to me, and you can open it.
Oh, can I get all my money?
Yes.
Okay, so here, I do want this one where they said that the gang stalker.
Okay, you want them or you
I just want one where it shows the gang stalker was spraying ammonia and pulled a gun on me, and I never got a detective.
Their information.
This one on it.
What you mean?
Okay, this is the only one I want. You can keep the rest. Where it talks about this gang stalker pulling a gun on me,
To say he was going to have the
and police and investigator never called me.
Have the insurance, the name, and everything. Why you can't give me that information? It was a hit and run.
She did not respond to the incident police. She did not respond.
Where's the suspect's name?
So they're lying and saying that I did not want help. That I went to speak with a victim's advocate. That's why they didn't do an investigation. So they're saying that I did not report it to the police. I did. They would deny me of investigation. They're blatantly lying.
Why not?
Like they've done years, so they're handing me fraud and tampering with evidence.
That's all you need?
Yes.
Okay. Here's your money.
Because I've already been handed fraud, and a lot of that is fraud. I would like all my records, ma'am. Are the police department depriving me of my records? Ma'am, why are you guys making it impossible for me to get these records? I have 70-something report. Hit and runs, child abuse.
So what am I supposed to do?
Did you get your record?
No, they won't give them to me. There's hit and runs. My son was 15. They won't give it to me. The police was trying to cover for it. He was bleeding.
What did they tell you?
It's interference with child custody crimes. That she keeps closing the gate like you tell her to do. That's a crime. Why won't they give me the records? Closing.
What's this right here?
I need records. They didn't give me the interference with child custody crimes, the child abuse with my daughter. They didn't give me the hit and run with my son.
And what did they explain to you? Why
That she kept closing the blinds like they did at Motel 6, like someone told her to do. So why would the police department commit a crime and deprive me of my records?
Well, they gave you your money back.
I just want records. I don't understand why these people aren't raking up the felony charges they've earned.
I don't have
This is an incident data sheet report. Didn't you have several sheets over here? I saw you.
They were crimes,
paging
sir.
through.
I didn't want to pay for criminal activity like I've already
You want
done
them?
with
Okay.
fraud in it.
But ma'am, if there's nothing else they can do for you,
I just don't understand why I would be deprived of my constitutional rights and my
there's
records.
nothing else they can do for you,
I can't get my records.
then you're gonna have to go because you have this right here. They gave you your
This is
money.
only for the guy pulling the gang stalker that you guys cover for.
They gave you your
And
money
then
back.
lied on here.
Here's the rest of your money.
This is only for one gang stalker that pulled the gun on me and that you guys want to investigate. What about the stalking that I've reported years, the stalker? What about that for the family violence?
Ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
I take a report for the stalker because you can't find it.
Okay.
I'm at a police department. I want
That
to
report right there.
report the stalker because you can't find the report, sir. And I needed to get help in the family violence division. They said they need a report number, and you guys can't find any of the reports regarding him. So I need to report the stalker, sir, at the police department. If you're not committing crimes covering up for this innocent man, I'd like to get a report on stalking.
You're gonna have to go over
I would-
that then, but
I'd like to do a report on stalking. Y'all can't find the reports.
leave out more because they trying to
I would like to do a report. Do you have a body cam on? I'd like to do a report on the stalking that you guys can't find. Are you depriving me of a report number or doing a report like you guys have gotten away with years? Threatening my arrest for reporting crimes? What about the identity theft? They didn't give me a report on that. Are you behind the identity theft at my bank? And then why my bank cover for it? Yeah, they can't find a lot of records, so I need to report another crime.
He does not do the reports. I've already started the one for you, so I've already done
I think
that.
police are behind my abuse and I'm not being heard.
Okay, then you have to go to the feds with that, man.
You're supposed to refer it over to the feds if you're not committing a crime.
Actually, you can go directly to him yourself.
They're committing crimes there. I don't know why you would tamper with evidence and deprive, me of investigation by referring it over to the FBI like you're supposed to do.
The DA would do that, but actually you can do that too.
No, because everywhere I go, they're committing crimes. Law enforcement just abuses a lot of power, so I don't get resolutions.
I already started the report, so that's.
But here's the thing: they won't give me records, and they keep slandering and tamper with evidence years.
We're not even about to go there today.
Okay, well, I need to be able to report the stalker. Let me report the stalker because they can't find any of the reports. I'm sorry.
I will add the information.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and report the stalker.
Okay, who is it?
His name is Jason Gardner. Vivid Images. Is your body cam on? It's missing.
Actually, it's right here. It's recording.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's green. I thought when they said it was blinking red, it was on.
No, it's on. Ms. Clark, I'm not about to.
I don't. What does blinking red means?
I'm not about to go through all that with you.
I just wanted to know, sir.
Okay, so
You don't want me to know when it's blinking red what it means?
his name? Jason what?
Gardner. It's green. But they told me blinking red was meant that it was recording. I don't know why the police can't be honest.
Nobody's trying to believe me when I tell you it ain't worth all that. So what's the
It must be worth it. They're committing fraud and depriving me of records for years. It got to be all that.
Y'all go ahead and sign for him one time. And Ms.
I mean, if you're committing crimes, it is all that. I mean, you're law enforcement. You can't see that.
And I want
Just because you set up the crimes don't mean that you can't give me reports on them.
In private matters with detectives, you can't just record everybody out of it. Some people have anonymity because of this.
Well, I'm just trying to expose crimes and controlled environments. I wouldn't have to record random people if you didn't have set up people to terrorize me doing reports in different locations. That's why I was forced to record it, because you have people commit crimes in the waiting area and in my environment. And now he's trying to...
All right, what's his date of birth?
Jason Gardner, Vivid Images. You guys have violated me, pushed and shoved and covered for him for years, deprived me of protection orders, mistreated me trying to report, and have all domestic violence locations, deprived me of assistance to escape his abuse, and allowed yourself to be enlisted in the abuse.
That's fine. He black or white?
He's black. So he has me blacklisted from all help, period, by law enforcement and the government, and committing interference with child custody crimes that you guys can't find and enforce criminal activity with no consequences.
All right, well, I got him down as to what he...
Okay, the report number, because you guys can't find
It's
it.
the exact same one I gave you. The one I gave you a little while ago. Did you drop your paper?
Okay, this is what the Itasca Police Department tried to do when he was committing a crime. Are you tampering with evidence right now? Covering for him
The
again?
same report number. I'm putting it all on the same exact report.
I don't want the same report number. I want a different one because they can't find it.
This is the only way it's...
Because they can't find the reports.
No, I'm
You
going
tamper
to-
with evidence and get away with
I'm gonna
felonies.
use the same report number that I had earlier. All I have to do is add it since I'm not finished with it.
Sure.
It's as simple as that.
So the victim's advocate that you guys have violated
She's not
me
in. I called her 3 times.
she's not in. Okay, can you leave a message for her to call me?
No, you can leave a message with the card I gave you.
I've already left messages and my calls haven't been returned. Why would you deprive me of that right if I told you about extreme events? And why won't you guys investigate the interference with child custody crimes?
Here's that case number again, just in case you lost.
Why won't you investigate the interference with child custody crimes? Are you behind it?
No.
Abusing power, going around terrorizing people so they commit felonies with you? Like you've been getting away with years?
All right. Is there anything else, Ms. Clark?
No, I mean, it's different when law enforcement commits the crimes. They're not racking up the felonies they've earned.
All right.
So once again, the reason why they don't want me to have the records is because they're behind the chaos. And they cannot investigate people they set up to terrorize and harass. That's why when I was on that bus and that man, and I was talking about the crimes the police officer commits, I put it in the description. He interrupted it because he already got paid to terrorize me. And he didn't want me incriminating the police department. I'm walking to the car. If you don't know the kind of person I am, you just won't understand why this is so painful. So remember I told you about the trinkets that they set out? You gotta see it to believe it. Remember the flowers I told you about? See dead flowers? They clean up here. I told you about the dead fish that was placed at police headquarters and different trinkets to let me know someone was sending me a message. I told you about flowers, and here are dead flowers. If it, they look pretty old. So it sends a statement, they clean up here. Is someone trying to send someone a message? I didn't do it. Obviously, I can't buy dead flowers. This car right here did it, almost hit me. No consequences. It wouldn't let me over. Almost hit me. So they follow me, gang stalk me, violate me every avenue I take. Let me get the license plate number. Police want to investigate. It almost caused an accident on the freeway and they've 9 years. No consequences. Now it's trying to hurry up and get away. That's why the police won't give me records. They set up chaos like this. So then they force you. Because in the past what I did, because I just could not get help and I was terrorized, I said, okay, you won. Let me get mental health treatment to deal with the torture that you guys enforce. I can't get help. I can't speak with my family. This is painful. Isolate me at churches, have them violate and become abusers. At least let me get mental health treatment to deal with the abuse yourself. That's what they want. They want to frame you with mental illness. No one would believe the experiences that I've been through. They don't sound realistic. So I said, okay, I'll get the mental health treatment. You won. This is terrorizing and it's traumatic. Let me get the mental health treatment. I can't get that. They have blacklisted me from any kind of assistance counseling. Only thing they want to do is give me meds so they can set me up for the smear campaign and deprive me of therapy. They even lied about medical treatment that they claim that I have, wouldn't send me records and then lie about that. I have coverage that I didn't even know about. They didn't want me to know about it. So to cover for another crime, they went ahead and let me know I had this coverage that no one has ever spoke of. Now it's about to expire. Well, here's the problem. There's nothing in front of this vehicle right here. We're going 50 again. It started to speed up now that I have my tablet. Look at how fast I'm going. On the freeway. So I don't have rights like other people. The government has interrupted my medical treatment. We've seen it now. They're getting over. I got over. This is part of the harassment. You gotta see it to believe it. It happens all the time. So let me get over again. Typically they'll get over again, but I'm recording. See, Yeah, they're braking. I don't know if you noticed that. Just multiple cars on route. So anyway, they interrupt medical treatment, even for mental health. I just don't have rights, year after year. Left that chaos. I'm going 45. They don't care. I have a whole brand new car. 45. 40. They have stopped. There's nothing in front of the vehicle. Look, I want you to see. No, they will not do law enforcement. Nothing in front of the vehicle. Years of this. I'm going 40 now on the freeway. There's nothing in front of this vehicle. Then they're breaking up. They create traffic and accidents. It's for something. Then this car back here is speeding up so I can't get over. It's slowing down. I know people, when I explain my experience, they're like, no, that's a bit far. No, it's really happening. That's why I can't get my records. As you can see, there's nothing over here in this avenue. The car kind of got over where you can't see, but they're just creating traffic. Just malice, just hidden schemes to create traffic. So let's see what's here's creating traffic. I've caught them before. They were actually stopped on the freeway. I don't know what it is up there creating traffic. I don't know what's going on right there, but there's a police. So I went out there and I ventured. I had my job. So I looked up different avenues on my phone, you know, meetup groups with women advocacy and different things, trying to participate and, you know, be an asset to the community, trying to. Okay? And then, you know, as I decided, you know, it's time. I had the boat trip and, you know, that was interrupted. I'm just venting. Never mind. I don't know what's going on up there. I've witnessed petty schemes to create traffic that the government was enlisted in. It doesn't matter. I stated that this man caused scenes to create traffic. He's sadistic and he's a stalker that can run the government. I mean, who would think of shutting down someone's supply of food and water and get away with it? Who has that power, much power to abuse? Having people in environments taunt and be sadistic and narcissistic and violate someone. So they're getting over. It could be an accident, I don't know. I'm just giving you my life experiences. They do set up chaos like this. So this car once sped up when I tried to get over and wouldn't let me over. And then tried to hurry up and get out of Dodge. Okay, I see police. Okay, it was actually a car accident. So I guess the bystanders are just sitting there causing traffic. So as I motioned to get over, this car tried to speed up and do it. This truck, you can't see it, but it did let me over because I got my tablet. My tablet wouldn't record. I was going 40. This car was slowing down, and then when I got my tablet, it sped up. It was going 40. I still haven't sped up yet. And then immediately when I got my tablet, it started speeding, but it was going as slow as 40, and my tablet wouldn't record it. Why would I write it? It was going 40, but it's completely disappeared when I got my tablet. That's the car right there. Right there. It's in the right. That has a blinker on. Yes, I'm in a domestic violence crisis fighting for my life.
I'm sorry?
I'm in a domestic violence crisis fighting for my life.
Okay, ma'am, do you have an appointment?
I don't.
Okay, we don't do walk-ins, ma'am. I'm sorry.
Okay,
What
well.
I can do is give you the number. You can give us a call so we can schedule for initial intake, okay?
Okay, may I have your name?
Yes, ma'am. Hold on one moment.
Can I speak with the supervisor? Because, what's your name? Hello? This happened at Family FOP. They're not responding. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Can I get your name, ma'am?
I'm sorry?
Can I get your name, please?
It's Kay.
Miss Kay?
Yes. Hello?
Miss Kay?
Yes.
I think when you told once before that you weren't permitted on
I can't hear you, ma'am.
I said, wasn't you told once before you weren't permitted to own property?
I'm sorry?
You're not permitted to come on this property.
Oh, okay. Why is that? Well, I don't understand why all domestic violence locations would deprive me of services, ma'am. That's against my constitutional rights. Can you tell me why I'm not permitted on property? Criminal trespasses only last 30 days. Why would it extend beyond the 30 days? And we never, did anything regarding the services that I've been deprived of years.
Okay, well, ma'am, I understand.
They wouldn't give me advocacy, support, information, and I actually were rude, slandered me, and covered for the crimes I was experiencing. And it's happened at a multitude of locations, and I wanted to get to the origin of it, because conspiracy to violate civil rights is criminal. She told me to go to Parkland when I was fighting for my life. I get ran off roads and violated every day, and for the government to enlist parties to violate me, mistreat me, degrade me, and deprive me of services to escape their abuse is sadistic.
Miss Keyana, hi.
Yes.
Hi. Okay, when we spoke with you before, remember we advised you that we're no longer able to see you at this location, okay? So we're going to ask that you go ahead and...
Ma'am, you were depriving me of services and covering for the crimes I was experiencing. Well, what services have you provided? You wouldn't give me any information to combat the police corruption, and actually you were abusive and condescending. You didn't treat me like you treated other women, as well as any other location. You referred me to Parkland, then follow up with the protection order you set up, and disregarded me and mistreated me in the process, and slandered me.
You didn't, but I'm asking you at this time because if you, I'm asking you now because we've asked that you...
Ma'am, you were committing a crime, ma'am. So I had to record the repetitive criminal activity. You don't have a right to take bribes or whatever's going on to deprive me of services and mistreat me and violate me year after year with no consequences.
We have a 24-hour hotline number that you can give a call and they can assess you.
Well, you didn't give me services when I had the services. So what is calling a 24-hour hotline for years and you put me out when a car sped up there like it was going to hit me and then lied to cover for it? How's that going to assist? I wanted to get to the origin of why all these places lie, violate me, and there's nothing done year after year. You help women that escape domestic abuse, not conspire with it.
Here's the issue. Anytime that you are trying to seek help from an agency that and they do try to help you, then we end up on YouTube.
Ma'am, you ended up on YouTube because you were committing crimes, and I wanted to get down to the origin. I wanted people to witness how I get violated at these locations when I wasn't recording. They have no right to put me out when my life was in their jeopardy when a car sped up like it was going to hit me. People would not believe my experiences, so I had to record the crimes.
We are unable to help you here. I've asked.
And why were you rude, ma'am, and lied repetitively and disregarded me? You're supposed to be supportive with women escaping abuse, not conspire with it. You have been abusive, ma'am, and slandered me and covered for crimes.
I'm asking you for the last time to please leave our office, or I will have to go ahead and contact security, and they will have you removed.
Okay, at first you were saying that I had to call the hotline, and then now you're conspiring with crimes. Is someone telling you to do this?
Which is a service that we are offering you. You can call and have an assessment to determine whether or not you will be admitted into emergency shelter if it's needed, okay?
Okay, but here's the thing. When I had services here, you deprived me of them. And won't tell me why you did it.
No, ma'am, we didn't.
Well, what services did you give me, ma'am, because I was afraid for my life? Ma'am, where you keep on deflecting, ma'am, and you're abusive. What services did you give me and I was afraid for my life? You're being abusive, ma'am.
And again, Miss Keyana, you can contact 911.
What services did you give me, ma'am?
Or you can also contact...
Ma'am, you didn't give me any services. You're blatantly lying. What services did you give me and I was afraid for my life? You're being abusive now, ma'am.
If you feel threatened for your life, you can contact...
I'm at a domestic violence organization, ma'am, that has violated me, mistreated me, disregarded me, and conspired with abuse.
You violated us.
I was recording your crimes, ma'am. I was recording your crimes, ma'am. That's why I put you on YouTube, because I wanted people to see how you violated me and mistreated me, trying to flee domestic abuse.
We're able to receive services at this location, okay?
But you never told me why y'all never got the services, ma'am. You still have not told me why you never gave me any services.
Go ahead and contact security, okay?
Ma'am, you didn't never tell me why you never gave me services, and you mistreated me and violated me in the process of trying to get them. What? This is a crime, ma'am. Conspiracy to violate civil rights is criminal. You have no right to discriminate me like a multitude of other locations have done. This is abusive.
Or you can also contact...
You're discriminating against me for profit.
Go ahead and contact security, okay? Thank you.
So you have to see it to believe it. This is a domestic violence organization. I don't want to put other women in jeopardy that can able to get services. I just wanted to expose where crimes are being committed. But for those women that have the right to be safe, I don't want to put their life in jeopardy like mine is. Not everybody can have enforced law enforcement in the locations that are designed to help you escape abuse, conspire with abuse. So she wants to, really concentrate on the fact that I recorded her. I recorded her in committing a crime, discriminating me and conspiring with abuse, violating me and speaking to me in all kind of different avenues. Conspiracy to violate civil rights is criminal, so they were committing crimes here. She don't want to talk about the services that they provided because they didn't give me any. None. No referrals. If she knew my life was in jeopardy and I didn't have shelter, they never gave me any. They assist with jobs, they wouldn't do that. Nothing, no services they offer did they provide. The only thing they did was a protection order and then wouldn't do a follow-up. Then lied regarding all the police reports that were not investigated. Obvious crimes and corruption that continually continue to be unaddressed. So I'm at a whole domestic violence organization, but it's better because in the past I was assaulted and arrested at another one. I just want you guys to see how I get violated and mistreated, begging for my life. Nothing resolved for years. It's just not today. This has went on years. place to place to place, even on the bus line, getting violated, to the degree of depriving me of food stamps in a crisis. And since the government's sadistic, they have to violate you and be rude doing committing crime. It has to stink. These are advocates. That's